Listen and practice.
It is going to be my father's birthday. What can I give him? I don't have much money. I have looked all through the stores, and I have not found anything that I think he would like or that I can afford. I have thought very hard about what to buy for him. I thought that he might like some candy, but my father really doesn't eat many sweets. I thought that he might like a new shirt, but he has lots of clothes. I can't afford a new car or computer for him. I was watching him on the weekend. He cut the grass, washed the car, took out the garbage, weeded the garden, and watered the plants. I got an idea. I went to my room and took out some paper. I cut out pieces of paper, and I wrote on them. I wrote on one piece of paper that I would wash the car every weekend for the summer. I wrote on another piece that I would take out the garbage every week for the summer. I also wrote that I would cut the grass, weed the garden, and water the plants every week for the summer. I made a birthday card for my dad, and I put the pieces of paper inside it. I went downstairs and gave my gift to my dad. My dad thought that the gift was very thoughtful. He said that it was a gift from the heart. I did all those things for my dad all summer. He said that he had a lot of free time because I helped him so much. My dad and I are good friends. I don't mind doing things for him because I know that he is always there to help me out. A good gift doesn't have to be something that costs a lot. My dad says that the best gifts are the ones that show how much you care for the other person. I'm glad my dad liked his gift.
Listen and practice.
A very long time ago, people didn't build homes. They slept in forests and caves, hunted animals, and collected fruit. They also made things from materials that they found around them. People made the first tools from a stone called flint. They used the flints in their hands, or they fixed them to pieces of wood or animal bones. People used flint tools to cut wood and to hunt animals. In cold countries, they used animal fur to make clothes and shoes.
Listen and practice.
People used wood and plants to make shelters, simple places to sleep in. They cut wood from trees to make the shape of the shelter. Then they used other plants to make the roof and the walls. Some people still make homes like this today. People used grass to make threads. They pushed threads over and under other threads to make clothes and beds. This is called weaving. They also made baskets by weaving thin sticks. Baskets are great for carrying food and catching fish.
Listen and practice.
Paper. People made the first paper from small plants, but now they make most paper from trees. At a factory, people mix small pieces of wood with chemicals and water to make a liquid called pulp. Later, machines make the pulp flat. Then they heat it to make it dry. Then long pieces of paper come out of a machine and go onto a roll. We print on paper to make books, and we fix paper together to produce cardboard for making boxes. We should not waste paper because we cut down trees to make it, and it's bad to cut down too many trees. We can reuse old paper to make new things, for example, newspapers, or even materials for building things.
Listen and practice.
Cotton. Cotton comes from the flowers of the cotton plant. Farmers grow the plants and collect round pieces of cotton from them. People use machines to wash the cotton and to pull it into long strings called fibers. Then machines spin the fibers into cotton threads. Other machines weave cotton threads into fabric. People use the fabric to make lots of things, like clothes and curtains. People can use special colors called dyes to make the fabric different colors.
Listen and practice.
Wool. Wool comes from sheep and other animals. Sheep grow a coat of wool to keep them warm. Once a year, farmers cut the wool off the sheep. This is called shearing. Farmers can collect the wool from hundreds of sheep in one day. People pull wool into fibers and spin it. This usually happens in factories, but some people still spin wool at home. Wool is very soft and warm, so it's great for making sweaters and socks.
Listen and practice.
Incredible oil. Sneakers, plastic toys, plastic shopping bags, and lots of other things are made from chemicals that come from oil. Oil is made from tiny plants and animals that lived in the seas and oceans millions of years ago. After they died, the sand above them slowly became rock. The rock and heat under the ground changed them into a black liquid called oil and a gas called natural gas. It takes millions of years to make oil, but we are using it very fast. In 100 years, there won't be any oil if we don't use it more slowly.
Listen and practice.
Recycled materials. People are making new materials all the time. We use them to make bigger planes, warmer clothes, thinner televisions, and products that are better for our world. It's bad for our world to throw away too many things. This uses energy and materials and produces waste. It's good to recycle as much waste as possible. Then, in factories, people can make new materials from these recycled materials. We use new materials made from recycled plastic inside cars because these materials are light and strong.
Listen and practice.
A funny thing happened on the way to school. Last Friday it was very windy. I was walking down the street with my friend John. We were having a difficult time walking against the wind. The wind was pushing against us, and we felt the force of it pressing against us. We even had a hard time breathing. We were walking slowly. We watched the leaves as they danced and twirled in the wind. We watched a plastic bag as it flew by us. We saw a little boy whose baseball cap flew right off his head. His cap flew along the sidewalk, and he had to chase it. He finally caught it, and he held it in his hands tightly after he got it back. The trees were swaying frantically. Their branches swished and waved in the wild wind. John and I were hit by flying bits of paper and leaves. We laughed when a garbage can lid rolled along and hit John in the leg. We saw another garbage can rolling along the road as if it was alive. Everything was moving because of the wind. Then the funniest thing happened. I wasn't paying any attention, and a paper bag came flying up the street toward us. It hit me right in the face and covered my whole face. At first, I didn't know what had happened. I was blinded. I couldn't see where I was going. I stopped and held out my hands. When I stopped, the bag fell off my face. I looked at John. He was laughing very hard. He was laughing so hard that tears were rolling down his cheeks. He said that I looked very funny with the brown paper bag stuck to my face. I started to laugh too. We laughed about it all the way to school. John said that he wished he had a camera. He would have taken a picture of me with the bag on my face.
Listen and practice.
Once upon a time, a young businessman married the most beautiful girl in the city. They loved each other very much. One day, she developed a skin disease. Slowly, she started to lose her beauty. It so happened that one day her husband left for a business trip. While returning, he had an accident and lost his eyesight. However, their married life continued as usual. But as days passed, she lost her beauty gradually. The blind husband seemed that he did not know this, and there was not any difference in their married life. He continued to love her, and she also loved him very much. One day she died. Her death brought him a great sorrow. He finished all her last rites and wanted to leave that town. A man from behind called and said, "Now how will you be able to walk all alone? All these days your wife used to help you." He replied, "I'm not blind. I was acting, because if she knew I could see her skin condition due to a disease, it would have pained her more than her disease. I didn't love her for her beauty alone, but I fell in love with her caring, loving nature. So I pretended to be blind. I only wanted to keep her happy."